Assalamu alaikum, everybody. I'm here on Ramadan 8, live and kicking, still fasting, overcoming my hunger and thirst and impulsive anger issues every day again. I'm lucky though because the school I work at, one of my bosses grew up near Xi'an, China, which is the home of the Hui Muslim, who are famous here for noodles and a few other things. And so there's more than one ethnic group of ethnically Muslim people in China, and Hui are very famous. But long story short, she grew up celebrating Eid, and so that's kind of cool for me that I have one of my bosses is this strong independent businesswoman who also grew up around a Muslim community. So a little excited about that. I didn't even know that until the second day of Ramadan, and after that I was really excited. Okay, so briefly, I'm going to give you a brief intro to the beginnings of Muhammad's prophecy. In other words, his early years, up to the point he first was visited by the angel Gabriel. Okay, so short and sweet. Okay, so Muhammad was, father died before he was born. His mother died when he was a small child, and then he was given to his grandfather to raise, who then died a few years after that. So he then was given to his uncle Abu Talib to be raised, who was a very strong member of a very strong tribe in Arabia, and it was actually really instrumental for him that he was under the protection of Abu Talib, because he numerous times protected him from outside forces, even though he was not a Muslim himself. So that's interesting. So he was raised with his uncle in his uncle's household, and he became a businessman, and he became famous far and wide for being an honest, kind, fair businessman. And he was approached by a businesswoman, Khadija, may Allah be pleased with her, that to take care of her affairs. She was an extraordinary woman at the time, because women at the time were more property, not up until this point women didn't own property. Women were property, or women's properties were kept by their fathers or husbands. So Khadija was a strong, independent woman, widow, and after she starts working with Muhammad, he's 25 years old now and she's 40 years old, she asked him to marry her. And according to legend of the time, she was beauty. This wasn't a, oh, I'm marrying a rich widow. Trust me, this was not the situation. She was beautiful, she was wealthy, she was intelligent. She would have been a hard person to turn down. And so he agreed to the marriage, and they had several kids together. They had, I think, 4 girls and 3 boys. The boys didn't survive to adulthood. And the most famous of the girls is Fatima, who I'll talk more about later, because she has a lot of history in herself. So he marries Khadija. For 15 years they live in peace. It's just him and Khadija. They have these kids together. They have a business together. Now, here's the deal. Mecca's the home of the Kaaba, which is a structure built by Abraham and his son by his slave Hagar, Ishmael. I don't know, some of you might probably, with a Christian background or Jewish background, know the story from the Bible, Torah. So anyway, so the Kaaba was built by Abraham and his son, and years later it becomes a place of worship for all kinds of religions. It becomes the business of Mecca. It's good business. Have all the statues of all the different gods here. Everybody can come pray to their God in the Kaaba, and for a fee. So and the Banu Hashim, Muhammad's clan, is actually the people in charge of. They're the keepers of the Kaaba, not Muhammad himself, but it's his tribe. he starts to become really upset with how they're treating religion, and he starts talking to people and realizes that people don't even believe these gods. They just follow the religions of their fathers without question because it's what their fathers did. And he's becoming more and more dissatisfied with things that he considers unfair and things that don't make sense to him, like this. And he starts visiting a cave by himself and contemplating and meditating, trying to find a purpose and reason. And one day, the angel Gabriel comes to him and tells him, recite. He is scared and lost, and he is, am I insane? There's voices. What's going on? This angel came to me and told me this. So he runs home and tells Khadijah, whose first thing is, you're a prophet. This angel came to you, you're a prophet. Khadijah is the first Muslim. So she'll have that distinction. And she was the first follower of Muhammad. She was the first follower of Muhammad. So she calls in a relative to help him understand what happened to him, who also agrees that something has happened to him and this is a spiritual thing. And a long time goes by and nothing else happens, and he starts to think that maybe he's a little crazy before the angel started coming back to him in his cave. And of course, I guess you could say everything's history after that. So that's the very beginning. That's where it all starts. And I will leave it there because I always ramble on endlessly. I lose track of what I'm trying to say. Next time, maybe I'll discuss some of the strong women who've been blessed. Like Khadijah is a good example, and there's also just so many others. I have so many great women in Islam I want to tell you guys about as I get time. So for tonight, though, I'm going to try to get a little sleep before my sari, because I've been staying awake until sari, but I have to work at 9 in the morning, and I had to work at 9 in the morning yesterday, and the 3 hours that I get of sleep isn't enough to make it the whole day on fasting. It was very rough for me. So all of you have a great night. You have a great Ramadan, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.